Hello, everybody. My name is Abbie Levasseur. I am the Director of Clinical Strategy and Informatics for Tutera, and I am here today to give you a quick tutorial on PCC. When you sign into PCC with the login credentials that somebody at the community has given you, you will log into the home page. You'll notice along the top there's a home page, an admin tab, a clinical tab, a QIA, a CRM, and a reports tab. As a nurse, you will be spending your time in the clinical tab. The first area that I want to cover is EMAR. If you hover over clinical and go to modules and select EMAR, this will bring you into PCC's EMAR, or electronic MAR. You can see that everything is color-coded here. Red means that a medication is overdue. Yellow means that a medication is due now. And green means that things are completed for that patient. You can see I'm here on the MAR, but you can click the TAR. Those are where your treatments would be. The lab, if there are any labs. Glucose and behavior, we do not use in our communities. So I'm going to go back over to the MAR. Once you dish up the medications and you walk away from the computer, it is important that you lock the MAR. So if you click the lock, you'll see that the screen is hidden, so nobody walking by has access to sensitive protected health information. To unlock the MAR, you simply click on the word hidden and the MAR will unlock. You'll notice over here, it shows me the date, the shift that I'm on, and the assignment that I'm on. If I don't happen to be on the correct assignment, if you go over here to where the piece of paper and the pen is, and you click on that, you can then change your assignment to whatever assignment you happen to be on. To administer a medication, you simply click on the patient's name. You will see at the top in the live database, there should be a picture of the resident, which is how you identify the resident. You'll also see their name, room number, gender, date of birth, age, physician. You will also see allergies and code status here. To administer a medication, you're simply going to go in and say, Colace 100 milligrams, you're going to get the Colace out, put it in the cup, say, yes, you're going to administer it. Lock your MAR, go to the patient's room. The patient has taken their medications, unlock the MAR, and hit the big orange save. Nothing is saved until you hit the big orange save. You may also have some medications where you see a heart. The heart means that additional information is required. So I've given the patient their boost. I am going to record the amount that the patient took. Record for the aspirin. The pills that are going back and forth here means that there's a drug interaction, and the black box is the black box warning that is attached to that medication. So I'm going to go down, excuse me, go down the list here. I'm going to administer the aspirin. It tells me that there's an interaction, and it's a severe interaction with this. When I try to record it, it will tell you that a pain level needs to be documented. I simply hit the supplementary documentation tab. I'm going to record a new entry. I can either do a 0 to 10 scale, or if the resident is cognitively impaired, I can do the pain rate scale for the cognitively impaired. I'm going to say that they have a 3. I'm going to record. Coumadin has a black box warning. The black box warning shows up right here. I know that there's supplementary documentation due, and they want to know what the INR is. I record that value. Administer the amlodipine, lock my MAR, unlock the MAR, and hit the big orange save. You'll notice that all of that red has disappeared. That all goes to the end of the list as administered. When you are in EMAR, you can sort by the patient's name or by the location. Location will put things in room order for you. Moving on to assessments. If I go to clinical, care management, UDA. UDA stands for user-defined assessments. This is where your assessments live. If I click on assessments here, it's going to show me the assessments that are due or overdue today. If I am only working on the South Hall, I can filter the assessments for just those for the patients in the South Hall. To complete an assessment, I would simply go to the patient's name, go to the assessment I want to complete, click on this link, select Save, and complete the assessment. With this particular assessment, the most recent set of vital signs will pull in here. If this is not the day and the date that you took somebody's temperature or that your aides took the temperature, you simply have to click the new link and enter the new temperature. Complete the questions. Once you have completed the assessment, you will select Save, and Sign, and Lock, and Exit. It will ask you for your password. You can sign it, and the assessment will automatically lock and come off of your list. There is another way to do assessments, and that is to go right into the resident's record. So if I select this resident and I go to the Assessments tab, I will see right here the next assessment due. If you click the plus sign next to it, you can see all of the assessments that are due. Again, you click the link, hit save, complete your assessment, save and sign and lock and exit. When you are in a residence chart, the code status shows up on the heading. Just like it did in EMAR, I'm so sorry, just like it did in EMAR, it shows up on the heading. There is additional information in here, and if you click here, it opens up and will give you their diet order, their diagnosis, their admission or readmission date, and then their initial admission. Code status is on EMAR on the patient's header. It is also on the residence chart in the heading. If you do not see a code status on somebody, you need to let the director of nursing know or the supervisor know immediately so that they can address that. If you have a new patient that comes in while you are caring, while you're working for us and you have an assignment with us, the patient will be on the waiting list. Your default here is to current, but you can look at all residents, new. New residents are put there because they have not been assigned a bed yet. Current resident, discharged, and waiting list. If we click on the waiting list and I select the patient that I want to admit, to the left of their name is an ADT link. ADT stands for admission, discharge, and transfer. I click the link. I select the action code. My action code is actual admission. It defaults to the exact date and time. If the patient got here, though, at 2 o'clock, you would want to go in and change the time only, not the date. Admission should tell you what their estimated payer is. I'm going to say that it's Medicare. The location is what bed are you putting them in? Here are all of my available beds, and it tells me whether the person in that room is male or female. So I'm going to go ahead and click that they're going into this semi-private room. The to from type, where did they come from? This person came from an acute care hospital, and then it wants to know which hospital they came from. You can see that their last name has filled out here. Their first name has already been put in here. They have a medical record number, a social security number, a date of birth. Their allergies are to be determined. If you know that they don't have any known allergies, you can enter that right here and save. Once the information is saved, this patient will now show up in your current resident list. If I click on the patient's name and I go to assessment, these are all of the assessments that need to be due today, which happens to be September 29th. So anything that has a 9/29 date on it, again, you would go in and click the link, hit save, complete the assessment, save and sign and lock and exit. Go back to the patient's chart and you'll see the smoking assessment has disappeared. And you'll click on the next assessment and keep doing all of the assessments for today's date. The last thing that I want to show you is order entry. If I pick a resident and the doctor has called in an order for Lasix 40 milligrams once a day, I am going to go to the Orders tab, and I'm going to type in here in this box the first few letters or the name of the drug. And if this is built in as a template, this is a fast way to get things in. So I can say here that it's Lasix 20 milligrams a day. I'll click that, and here is my order. It defaults to today's date and time. The order category is pharmacy. The physician phoned it in. It was this doctor. It gives me the medication class. It's going to the MAR by mouth, 1 tablet, 1 time a day, every day. You need to add the facility time code and a diagnosis or an indication for use, one or the other. To enter a diagnosis, I hit the magnifying glass. I select the diagnosis that applies. Make sure that it is going to start tomorrow at 9 o'clock because 9 a.m. has already passed for today. And I can hit save. I'm going to read the order and make sure that it looks right. Acknowledge and save. This is the telephone order that prints. You'll print that off and put it in the box for medical records to then send to the physician. The other way to put orders in, if there is no template for the order, you'll want to go to the New button. And then you'll have to decide, well, what kind of order is it? Is it a pharmacy order, a diagnostic, X-ray, ultrasound, MRI, a lab, a diet, a supplement, an enteral feed? And if it doesn't fit into any of those categories, it is an other order. Other orders include things like advanced directives, treatment orders, admit to community. Anything that doesn't fit into one of these categories is going to be an other order. So I'm going to enter a new pharmacy order. Again, it defaults to today's date and time. It's a pharmacy order. Doctor called it in. And I am going to start typing in the medication. So I have Colace here. I've got Colace capsules, 100 milligrams. Going to the MAR, my route of administration is by mouth, and now I have to schedule it. Is it going to be a routine schedule, a PRN, a one-time only, a titration, or a stat? This is going to be routine. The doctor said to take 200 milligrams twice a day, every day, select my time code, and my indication for use going to be constipation. And you can see that this order will start at 5 p.m. this evening because it is only 2:27 p.m. The system is smart enough to know when to next schedule a dose to be given. Where is this medication coming from? Is it coming from the pharmacy, family supplied, house stock, the VA, or mail order? I'm going to say house stock, save my order, review it one more time, acknowledge, enter my password, and the order will now save to the chart. Again, the telephone order will print, which can then be printed and put in the box for medical records. That is a very, very quick overview of PCC. If you have any questions, please ask another nurse that is working, or you can call the nurse that is on call at any time, and they should be able to help you. Have a great shift, and thank you for coming and helping us provide care to our residents today.